Hey, I'm here with Russ at the LaFrance Center. And Russ, tell me a little bit about how you come to find out about the LaFrance Center.
I was in an accident where a car ran over me on my bicycle 19 months ago. And after being airlifted to Mission Hospital and treated very well up there and at Care Partners Hospital, I came home after about 60 days and was in traction for another 4 or 5 months, having spent roughly 8 or 9 months in traction, unable to move very actively. So I got out in the summer of 2012. I was learning how to walk again, how to reuse my body, but I noticed it was all out of alignment, and I'd been favoring my left leg that was broken severely and putting all the pressure and all the work on the right leg. 2 or 3 friends of mine that had been to see Anne-Marie LaFrance had suggested I come down here. And finally I realized I was on some sort of healing plateau. I was never going to get any better. I wasn't balanced. And the injuries that had been roughly 15 bones broken up the left side of my body were kiltering and skewing everything I did, from sitting to walking to standing, and I was going to be a crippled old man at the young age of 60. I didn't want that. So I finally broke down and came down and said, "What can you do for me?" And after 2 sessions, or actually after the first session I felt better, but after 2 or 3 sessions I began to realize that I was becoming more balanced again, getting a symmetry to my body that I had not had since I was a kid. Anne-Marie pointed out to me that when they put me back to bed to put me back together in orthopedic trauma surgery in Asheville and worked on me for I think 12 major operations in 20 days. When they put me back together, they put me back together correctly, and sort of like you would take an old car and restore it, they restored me up there at least in line orthopedically with the bone structure, but they hadn't put my muscles back together where they needed to be, and my lurching around trying to walk normally had only increased the damage done, I would say. So the LaFrance Center has helped me recenter, regain a balance to where I feel not 61 going on 62, but I feel 40 years old again. I feel full of an energy and enthusiasm I had not had in decades.
Well, let me ask you this, Russ. What kind of treatments have you tried before you started here? Was there any kind of transition treatments that you had tried before you started here at the LaFrance Center?
Not really. I've always been very independent thinking and thought that, well, I can do this. I know about yoga. I know about cycling. And in August of 2012, on the year anniversary of my accident, I bought a single-speed bike and started riding our beautiful Greenway in Morganton. A ride of 20 miles used to take me an hour and 10 minutes maybe, hour and 15 minutes. The rides were now taking me about 3 hours just to get through it, back and forth on the Greenway. But it was so liberating because I could move my body well, but then I'd get off the bike and I'd be lurching again. And I knew that this isn't working. So I was trying my own yoga, which I call Boga, for Bogus Yoga. I was trying it to realign myself and having some success, but really not getting anywhere because I just knew what I was seeing on YouTube or from friends that had practiced yoga. I wasn't going to a yoga class per se. Again, I've always thought, oh, I can do this. I don't need instruction. I don't need help. But I realized the serious, as I got off drugs, and I was on major opiates for 54 weeks, once I got off of them and spent 2 months recovering from that, I began to realize I need help because the drugs had masked everything, and I no longer felt 25, I felt 85. And it became obvious I need some help, and this is the place to go.
Yes. Well, let me ask you this too. What's the difference here at the LaFrance Center that you think has helped you?
The fact that the first few sessions here, if in fact not most of the sessions here, are painful. But she tells me what she's doing, why she's doing it, and most of the time she says, okay, this is going to hurt, and it's going to hurt right here, and it's only going to hurt for a few seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, then I'll release, and you'll feel an immediate difference. And believe it or not, I did. I could have a painful session here of 90 minutes and then walk out the door and feel 20 years younger for 4 or 5 days. And then I'd begin to drag down again, and I'd go, well, it's time for me to get back. Got to go see her again. And I'd get refreshed, refurbed, and feel much, much better.
Great. Well, how has the LaFrance Center changed you?
It's given me confidence that I can overcome what would have left most people 6 feet underground. That at 61, I have another whole chapter of my life coming up ahead of me that, frankly, I'd written off. I used to walk up to my little car, my Subaru, and I'd have to turn backwards and drop my butt in it because I couldn't lift my leg high enough or without pain to get into the car. Now I can walk up to the car, get in it just like everybody else can. I can walk across a room just like everybody else. I had pretty much given up on that. I walked with hiking poles. One of my kids gave me some in intensive care, and I looked at him and said, well, I think I said, these are ridiculous. I'll never be able to walk again. I'm at the point now where I'll go to work and I will be on my feet 6, 7 hours, and I haven't touched a walking pole in probably a month. I'm walking freely without them, and I never thought I would walk again.
That's awesome. Well, let me ask you this too, Russ. Do you feel like the lifestyle that you have now, do you think it would be different if you had not received the care that you've received here at the LaFrance Center?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I would be getting older a lot faster and more decrepit. I wouldn't have the energy and the ability simply to go out and enjoy life the way I'm blessed to be able to do.
Well, how do you like the treatment that you've been receiving here at the LaFrance Center?
I wish I could do it every day, but I know I need time to heal. I know I need time to get out there and practice and see what level I'm on. But it's giving me a balance and a symmetry, not only physically, it's given me a balance and a symmetry in my mind that I feel a stability I'd not had before. And I feel a great calmness that I can take a few good deep breaths and get very centered, and my body feels centered. It doesn't feel all floppy-jawed and bent out of shape.
That's great. Hey, anything, Russ, you would change if you could?
No, I'm blessed to be alive, and I'm lucky to have my real feet. I have metal all through my shoulder, but I look at this whole incident now, particularly since she's bringing me back to a better level than I was before the accident. I just feel very blessed, and I'm happy with every day.
And does this connection with the LaFrance Center make you feel good?
Oh, believe me. Yeah, I look forward to the day I get to come down here and get worked on.